Palaging maligaya sa Pilipinas.
Hi, I'm Flora, I'm from Philippines.
There's a quote that says, it's more fun in Philippines. And I believe that that's the perfect quote for Philippines. Because whatever it is we experience in life, we make good things out of it. Even if it's bad, when you look on the pictures of those documentaries, you can see most of the people and children there smiling, not crying or sad.
Reality check. Beyond the white smiles and the joy back home, the unprecedented is unavoidable. The absence of sustained economic development, political instability, and ever-growing population, double-digit unemployment rates, and low wages continue to compel the locals to look elsewhere. In Asia, Malaysia has been a preferred destination for these migrants. It is estimated 600,000 Filipinos living in Malaysia, with domestic workers totaling between 120,000 and 180,000. It is undeniable that the Philippines has long been one of the major labor sources for the rest of the world, supplying everything from maids to fishing vessel crews to electrical engineers. Nearly 10.5 million Filipinos, or about 10% of the population, were overseas in 2012, according to the Commission on Filipinos Overseas. Meet Flora May Forosuelo. The 60-year-old domestic helper from Mindanao has been employed in Malaysia for more than 9 years, searching for a better future for her children, to escape poverty and lack of opportunity at home since 1993. Home for Flora is Clarin in Mindanao. Filipino-born singer Marcus Adam Makaraig Echivare, popularly known as Mark Adam, is a famous singer and actor in Malaysia. Before migrating to Malaysia, Mark used to live in a notorious squatter area in Cebu City.
I need money to save my father. Okay? So I went to Malaysia. And I don't know what's going to happen with me. I don't know what's the future, because there are few of my neighbors and friends I've known, when they go out in the country, some of them is being beaten by their boss. You know, that's one part that I was scared of. And then when the plane landed in the airport, when I go into the KLIA, whoa, I already cried. Not only me, the whole 8 of us cried. Because it was beautiful. The building was beautiful. Culture shock. Now I see beautiful things in front of me. What made me sad is that my family, they don't see it, only me. So I can only tell them this, I can only explain of them that this is Malaysia, they have this, they have that. From a squatter area where I live and to an airport which is so beautiful.
I applied for a job in overseas in Singapore in June 20, 1993, because at the time my husband is a policeman. The salary is only 12,000. So because my children at the time the eldest is 10 years old, then 4 years old, then 3 years old. Because the life of my husband it's like I say, is he is a womanizer, and he has another woman. I support my family. My husband support also my children. Both of us support my children. So, looking forward for the future of my children, so I work abroad. It's difficult to adjust when the first time I work in Singapore. Of course, you always think about your children you left behind in Philippines, that they are still very small, they are still very young, 4 years old, 3 years old, and 10 years old. So every now and then you have to call them by using the house phone card, because there is also a house phone card in Singapore.
I remember she left when I was 2 years old, and she go there to work so that she can provide our needs. Since then, she just go every week just to talk to us. Like, way of communicating is before cell phone. Telephone. She called just to see how we are doing, just like that.
Okay, we're going to Pasil, Sawang Kaliro, where I used to live and the whole family. Like a very small place. We used to live like there were like 20 of us living in that place. Half of it is sand, half is cement, but now it's all cement now. That place is called squatter area. So squatter area is where the poorest people live in the city. It's beside the sea. It's beside the seaside. The city seaside is not as clean as the province seaside. Province seaside is like crystal clear carpet. Hi guys, so this is Sawang Kaliro. This is where I live. Come, let's check out the house where I lived before. I got my old friends here. These are my friends, school friends. Musta? Musta? Oh, taga Malaysia na sila sa...
Sikat na kayo sa Malaysia.
Dili.
Mura lagwa.
Mura gyapon. Ato sa misud, ha? Ay, nay. Okay. So this is the street. This is my cousin. Ninyo, this is Ninyo. This is my uncle. Yeah. Dito ko sa Konsolasyon. Konsolasyon pa? Magkuhan niyo sila, mag-video sa TV sa Malaysia. Ito na ko tiyo. Let's go. Ito sa mi tiyo, ha? So the streets were like this before. It's kind of developed already. Usually houses here are made of wood only. Now they have the concrete. They have the concrete already. So we can go this way. So this is the neighborhood. This is my other auntie. Yeah, basta man. Nay. So my family lives here, a big family.
Oh, the whole place is your family.
Almost the whole place. My uncle is, that's the chapel. Somebody died. Almost everyone living here are my cousins and uncles, my uncles, the old one. So this way to my home, where I used to live before. Places are developed already. And yeah, see, it's made of concrete already. These are the neighborhood. So let's go this way. Yeah, You have arrived. Be careful of your footsteps. This is where I lived before. My uncle is still here. Tio, auntie, kinsa may na diri?
21 people used to live here.
Ha?
21.
Noy, musta? Dong, this is my cousin. Okay, this is Ryan.
Kumusta?
Musta man? Yes. This is Astro channel Malaysia. This is the news channel Malaysia. This is my uncle. Yeah, my uncle, my father's brother. Okay. So this is my auntie. My brother, sister. So this is where I used to live before. There was like 21 of us. And then now all is cement. Before, half of this were like sand. But it's all developed. Huh? Our neighbors. Like it used to be like plywoods and stuff, but we can scraps that we can find when we build a house. Now it's made of concrete. Nang, yo, this is my uncle. This is the strongest one. My uncle. This is my father's brother.
Hello.
He also used to live
Hello,
here.
hi.
Like four family. Yeah. Come here.
The demand for Filipino entertainers in Asia countries has also fueled migration. With every single cent earned, Mark is now a proud owner of a singing school called Suara Academy.
Now, being a singer, I was taught by my father to become a singer-entertainer. In college, I become the singer for the university where I get free scholarship. I took civil engineer. So, I have to go to Malaysia to work on my fourth year, on the fourth year that I've studied engineering. The reason why, because that time my father was already sick, Parkinson. So the plan was to go to Malaysia, get the 2 years contract and go back to Philippines and finish my study as a civil engineer. I don't know anything about the outside world. So, but what I know from my uncles who were musicians, when they go out from the country, they earn a lot of money being a musicians. So when I get the call, when I get the offer to perform in Malaysia, first thing I think of is like I can see other places, I can see another country. And the second thing was the salary that they offer us. So it's quite, it's a big salary for me back then. I was 21. They offer me 1,800 ringgit a month, being a musician, being a singer. So it's quite big for me back then. We started working in June, and then July, I met this girl. July 14, it was my father's birthday. Her name is Izan. Now she's my wife. We became friends for 2 years. So the reason why I didn't manage to go back and finish my studies, because I got married here. I got married with Izan, my wife. And then what I think of, except of finishing my studies, was my dad. I think of saving him from his illness. He was going into the hospital, going out, going in, going out. So whatever money I earn here in Malaysia, I send it 100%. And Izan, my wife, my girlfriend before, she understood what I've been trying to do all this while. So even she also helped. She also helped my dad. We became very close, and then in 2003, we got married. The plan changes because I cannot bring my wife to Philippines and live there. I have to, this matter, I have to sacrifice from myself because My wife has a family here, and she's the youngest of all the eight siblings. So I have to stay here. I have to make sure that my wife stays in Malaysia. So that's the reason why I didn't manage to go back and finish my studies.
Now I start the cooking.
Where did you learn to make the fried rice? Is it the same in Mindanao?
I learned from here. In Mindanao is another way how to cook fried rice. Here also, Mama Fatima is another way. So I follow Mama Fatima. Because I'm a fast learner and I love cooking. Every time Mama Fatima cook, I only watch.
What else do you know to cook local?
Curry,
Curry,
rindang, biryani, the simple biryani, chicken rice, the nasi lemak, ikan bilis, sambal ikan bilis. We cook also Western food, not only Malaysian food, Chinese food, Western food we do also in this house. In the first 4 years, I don't go back because I don't have much money because I have a salary deduction for the first 2 years in going to Singapore to the agency. When I go back, they are already grown up, but the bonding is quite different lah. Because first, when I go home, my daughter don't know who I am. When they meet me at the airport, they don't know who I am.
I remember when she came back, I do not recognize her. I called her auntie. Yeah. But I have feelings that she's my mother, but I'm not sure. I just recognize her voice, but the face is I cannot recognize her as my mother. Yeah.
She's crying when she came back.
No, when she's smiling. I remember the time we met, yes, she's smiling and she want to hug at me, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Even it's pain for me as my mother, I need to sacrifice myself for the future for them. Because sometimes I don't rely much on my husband, so I need to give moral support and financial support for my children in school.
Filipinos that work abroad are national heroes. They have hugely contributed billions for the economic growth in the Philippines, enduring hardship overseas to improve the livelihoods of their loved ones. Mark and Flora are the epitome of the unsung heroes. In the next episode, we will share how working abroad have contributed immensely to their families.
Here in Malaysia, my salary, I help a lot with my son because I don't want them to rent a house. So I have my mother's house. Slowly, from 2015 they moved to the house until 2017. Slowly I renovated the house.
Because this car was like a coin car wash. Okay. 5 peso coins good for 2 minutes. And then after 2 minutes, it's automatic stop.
And this is my mom. Hi mom, how are you? Yeah, mom, this is Astro AWANI from Malaysia. The biggest network in Malaysia. So they're here to see your place, your house.